speaking of quarterbacks, the 49ers have the best offseason problem in the NFL. They are stacked with quarterbacks that can play. Jimmy G, Trey Lance, and Brock Purdy. Where do they go?
I think from what I've heard, it sounds like Brock Purdy is probably good chance not ready quite yet for the NFL season with the surgery that he has to have and the rehab that he has to go through. He might not quite be ready for the NFL season. So what I think is going to happen is Jimmy G, from everything I've heard, it's foregone conclusion he's going somewhere else. He's not going to be San Francisco's quarterback. So pretty much take him out of the equation, but you still have Purdy to back up Lance going into the season. I assume they would probably bring a veteran in. I don't know who that would be. I haven't quite looked into the quarterback, the veteran quarterback market going into the season. I know there are a lot of quarterbacks that are going to be available for them to bring in if they want to, though. So I assume they'll bring a guy in and have it be competition. But I expect the real competition for the 49ers to be between Trey Lance and Brock Purdy. And as much as I've always liked Trey Lance and the potential that he has, it's real hard to say that he's going to take that job from Brock Purdy.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter. Potential doesn't matter. W's matter. And for all and Brock Purdy might come out and lose the next 8 games, but we won't know that. We only know the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior, and Brock Purdy was getting it done, and that's all that matters in this league. That's it. So Lance ought to be thankful, and I'm sure he's not thankful that his teammate got hurt, but it was a blessing for him that Purdy did get hurt, that he's going to have some rehab, and it kind of moves Lance back into the spotlight a little bit, or he may have lost his job. That would have been a hell of a decision, man. And we talked about that. I don't know what Shanahan would have done. I don't know what I would have done. You got this guy who you paid all this money to, and everyone's expecting him to be the starter, and he's got so much promise and potential. And then you just had a guy come out of nowhere and just getting it done. And I know what Bill Belichick would have done. He would have stayed with Brock Purdy. We've
Absolutely, because, Trey Lance was the 3rd overall pick. The money that he's making, even on his rookie contract, compared to what Purdy is making, he's probably not getting $1 million a year. You know what I mean? So they have a major discount there. So, I would assume, for another season, Trey Lance will be on the roster. And I wouldn't be surprised if they wanted to go into next season trying to get Trey Lance to be that guy for him, or at least want him to perform well so that they have a trade market and they can trade him. And that's why I see them bringing in a veteran quarterback, because of that possibility. But Brock Purdy, man, he seemed like the guy. So I feel like at the end of the day, that's probably where they end up going.
Yeah. So, okay, where does Jimmy G go?
That's a fantastic question. The video we put out right before this was the Packers, and we were talking about Green Bay and how Aaron Rodgers either stays in Green Bay or retires. And with the likelihood of that happening, I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets make a hard push to bring in Jimmy Garoppolo and he be the guy for them going into 2023.
That's actually, I was just sitting here kind of running down the list of the obvious teams that are looking for quarterbacks, but Jets are probably, if they can't get their hands on Rodgers, you're probably right. Jimmy G's probably their next, and maybe Baker Mayfield, but Baker's still got a lot to prove, I think, to a lot of teams before they really get aggressive. So